Minister, thanks for joining us again. I wonder if first up you can just run us through these changes, this extension of payments, additional payments for JobSeeker recipients.
Okay, well today we've made the announcement that we're extending the coronavirus supplement that's paid on top of the JobSeeker payment for the period the 1st of January through to the 31st of March 2021 at a rate of $150 a fortnight. But we're also extending a number of other measures that are in place, including the income-free area, which encourages people to go out and put their toe in the water and test themselves in the job market, because if they can earn up to $300 before they lose any of their payment. We've also extended the partner income taper rate measures, so for people whose partner earn up to $80,000, their partners will still be able to get access to some payment. We've kept in place some very important expanded eligibility criteria. So if you're a sole trader, you may have been on zero hours or stood down. You may be somebody who is in isolation or caring for somebody in isolation. You'll still be able to get access to payment, as well as we will continue to waive a number of the waiting periods for that 3-month period.
There's a lot there, and of course nobody would disagree with the fact that you need to look after people to try and ease people through this situation, the crushing blow that the coronavirus lockdowns have been in this country. But do we no longer worry about the amount of debt? Do we no longer worry about how much government welfare is being spent?
Look, absolutely, Chris, and this really is the critical balance about making sure that we provide the levels of support to make sure that we keep the economy ticking over, that we keep people connected to the workplace and get people back into jobs as quickly as possible, because it will be a strong economy that will drive the economic recovery for this country, not a government-led recovery. But at the same time, we have to make sure we put also in place those incentives for people to re-engage with the workforce. So that is the balance. That is absolutely the first thing we think about when we wake up in the morning, and the last thing we think about when we go to bed is making sure we balance that, because a sustainable budget into the longer term is absolutely essential as well.
Okay, you've got those incentives to get people employing people again and get business going again. JobKeeper, we know, is a payment to keep people attached to their jobs and hoping they'll take those jobs up again. But JobSeeker is essentially unemployment benefits, is what we used to call the dole. And the coronavirus supplement to that is just an addition to the unemployment benefits, because I suppose with the pandemic they're even less likely to be able to get employment. Is it not, though, then a recognition that the current JobSeeker payments, the current unemployment benefits are not enough, that out of this you're going to have to end up with at least a slightly higher unemployment benefit all round?
Well, as you would know, we're right. We're still in the middle of this pandemic. It's a long way from being over. We don't know what Australia's going to look like on the other side of the pandemic, but we're certainly seeing some really good signs. I mean, the public confidence that's been reported today by ANZ and the NAB indices, and the reports that we've had from Westpac and a number of other confidence indices are showing that Australians retain confidence in their economy. So we want to work in these temporary conditions and these current conditions that are coronavirus impacted, and make sure that the appropriate supports are in place to recognise the state of the economy and particularly the state of the job market. It's not time for us to be making any decisions about the longer term, because we at this stage still aren't sure what the longer term for Australia is going to look like.
Sure, but if JobSeeker alone is not enough money for an unemployed person during a pandemic, then obviously it's not enough money for an unemployed person outside of a pandemic either.
Well, Chris, one of the most important things that we can do in recognising that we have a shallow jobs market, we can't be expecting people to be able to easily go out and find a job. And so what we've done is we've sought to put additional supports in place for them to help them through that period. But as our economy opens up, the absolute fundamental focus of the government has to be to move towards supporting people back into the workforce. The social security system was absolutely fundamental in getting Australia through the last 6 or 8 months of the pandemic. But going forward, our focus must be onto opening up the economy, creating jobs, because the best thing we can do to improve the livelihoods of Australians is to make sure that they've got access to a job.